Y'all know when the Demon Slayer Lil Tim gets involved, someone's about to get capped, no cap. And right now, word on the street is Tim ready to crash out for his boy NBA YoungBoy after NLE Choppa dropped that disrespectful-ass diss track. But here's where it gets crazy. Choppa didn't just drop a song. This fool put up a billboard in YoungBoy's old hood promoting the disc. Gang, this ain't no regular rap beef no more. This type got real street implications. And Tim been moving different ever since that track dropped. Let me break this whole situation down for y'all because what's about to happen next got the whole hip-hop world on edge. To understand why Lulim is ready to slide for YoungBoy, we gotta go back to who Tim really is in this whole equation. For real. This the same shorty who protected Quando Rondo by taking out King Von in that Atlanta parking lot. Tim ain't just some regular homie. This man is certified in these streets and he don't play about his people. Now Tim and YoungBoy's relationship go deeper than just music, gang. When YoungBoy be performing on stage and chaos break out, who you think he calling first? Not security. He calling Tim. Fans been peeping how Tim be glued to YoungBoy's side like a shadow, arms ready, scanning the crowd like he's Secret Service or something. Some fans even joke that Tim look more like a bodyguard than the actual bodyguards. But here's the real tea. After that King Von situation, YoungBoy became a walking target. Every city they go to, Tim know there's potential for revenge, so he stay on high alert. That's why when they was in New Orleans for YoungBoy's birthday and the crowd got chaotic, Tim was the one looking tense while YoungBoy stayed calm. Tim understand the streets and he know how this game go. The loyalty between these two run deep, fam. We talking about a bond that was forged in the trenches, tested by federal cases and strengthened by shared trauma. Tim seen YoungBoy at his lowest points. House arrest, legal troubles, industry blackballing, and he never switched up. That's the type of loyalty that make a man willing to risk everything. So when NLE Choppa dropped that KO diss track, Tim wasn't just hearing another rap song. He was hearing disrespect toward his brother. And that's something he can't let slide. In Tim's world, disrespect toward family is disrespect toward him, and he'd been known to handle that type of energy with extreme prejudice. Now let's talk about this diss track that got everybody talking. NLE Choppa really went all out with this KO joint, and the visuals was straight disrespectful. This fool had YoungBoy depicted as a puppet with strings, calling him controlled and basically saying he sold his soul. But that's just the beginning though. The song itself was some real artistic expression type Choppa channeling his inner Tupac and Michael Jackson with the choreography and everything. Gave the video a 10 out of 10, but rated the song a 7 out of 10. He was asking the real question though. Is this growth and evolution from Choppa? Or is this just jealousy disguised as artistic competition? But here's what really got under Tim's skin. The imagery in that video was calculated to hurt. Choppa had YoungBoy looking like a slave with chains and puppet strings depicting him as controlled by the industry. That type of visual disrespect hit different when you know what YoungBoy been through to get where he at. See, Tim remember when YoungBoy was really struggling, when labels wouldn't work with him, when he was on house arrest, when the whole industry was trying to blackball him. Tim watched his boy fight through all that adversity to become the biggest independent artist in the game. So to see Choppa now trying to paint him as a puppet when he finally winning that personal. But here's where Choppa took this beef to another level that got Tim's attention. Word started spreading that Choppa put up a billboard in YoungBoy's old neighborhood promoting the diss track. Gang, that's some next level disrespect. You don't bring the beef to a man's hood like that unless you're ready for all the smoke that comes with it. When Tim heard about that billboard, sources close to the situation say he was heated. This ain't just about defending YoungBoy's reputation no more. This about defending his territory, his family, his everything. And Tim been known to handle business when it comes to protecting what's his. Now, the reactions to this whole situation been wild, fam. First, let's talk about YoungBoy's mama because Shorty did not hold back. She went straight at Choppa's head with some of the most disrespectful bars I ever heard from a mama defending her son. She said, and I quote, "Your head looked like a penis without a rubber on top of it, but yet you want to sit here and try to talk about somebody." Damn. Mama YoungBoy really said that man's head looked like an uncovered. Y'all heard what she said. She wasn't playing no games. But she didn't stop there. She called out the hypocrisy in Choppa's video talking about how he got a man on his knees with a crack pipe, calling YoungBoy evil, but then doing the same type of imagery. She said, "I bet they have another video with that same ass fool on his knees sucking your pipe, because who going to even play that stupid ass role?" Mama YoungBoy was on that timing for real. She ended it by saying, "Cho better be lucky." She can't say what she really want to say on Instagram. That's when you know it's personal, when the family getting involved like that. But here's what really got Tim fired up. Seeing YoungBoy's mama have to defend her son like that. Tim got mad respect for Mama YoungBoy. And seeing her stressed about this situation probably made him want to handle it even more. In the streets, when somebody make your mama cry or stress, that's grounds for immediate retaliation. The fact that Mama YoungBoy felt the need to respond publicly show how deep this cut. She usually stay out the drama, but Choa's video was so disrespectful that she couldn't let it slide. And when the matriarch of the family speaking up, that's a signal to soldiers like Tim that it's time to move. The street's been buzzing about this whole situation and everybody picking sides. Some people saying Choa finally found his voice and this the type of conscious rap we need. Others saying this just jealousy because YoungBoy the hottest rapper in the game right now. Academics broke it down perfectly when he said, "There's always going to be a counterfigure when somebody rise to the top." Like how Drake's popularity helped Kendrick because Kendrick could position himself as the pure rapper against Drake's fluff. Maybe Choa trying to be that counter to YoungBoy street influence. But here's what got Tim's attention. The way Choa depicted YoungBoy as a slave to the system. That imagery of puppet strings and handcuffs calling him controlled when he finally getting his life together and staying out of trouble. Tim know that's designed to get under YoungBoy's skin and make him crash out. NBA Herm, one of YoungBoy's close associates, already responded with some cryptic posts that got people thinking something about to happen. When Herm start posting, the whole camp feeling some type of way about the disrespect, Herm posted some like, "When there was popping, man. It was popping now. Now we popping. You hear me? It's a problem." That type of energy from the camp let Tim know he ain't alone in feeling disrespected. The whole Never Broke Again family feeling some type of way about this situation. And when the whole crew unified like that, things tend to get dangerous real quick. But what really got the streets talking was how calculated Choa's move was. This wasn't no spontaneous disc. This was planned out. From the video concept to the billboard placement, that level of premeditation got Tim thinking this more than just rap beef. This psychological warfare. Here's where things get real serious, gang. Sources in the streets saying Tim been making calls ever since that billboard went up. This ain't just about a rap song no more. When you bring the beef to a man's neighborhood like that, you crossing lines that can't be uncrossed. Tim understands street politics better than most. He know that billboard ain't just promotion. It's a statement. It's Choa saying he can disrespect YoungBoy in his own backyard and nothing going to happen. But Tim been moving different since he heard about it. People close to the situation say Tim been asking questions about Choa's movements, where he'd be at, who he'd be with. That's the type of behavior that got King Von caught up in Atlanta. When Tim start doing reconnaissance, that usually means somebody about to get touched. The crazy part is Chopper probably don't even realize how serious this got. He might think this just regular rap beef, but Tim operate by street rules, not industry rules. And in the streets, disrespecting a man in his own hood is grounds for retaliation. What make this situation even more dangerous is Tim's track record. This the same man who was willing to throw his life away to protect Wando Rondo. He caught a murder charge and beat it, but he showed he willing to risk everything for his people. Now he's seeing the same type of disrespect toward YoungBoy, and his trigger finger probably itching. Tim been moving in silence, but people in the know say he'd been reaching out to certain individuals asking about Choa's security detail, his travel schedule, where he'd be recording at. That's the type of intelligence gathering that happens before something pops off. The billboard situation especially dangerous because it showed Choa willing to bring the beef to YoungBoy's territory. In Tim's mind, that's an invasion, and invasions require military responses. Now, let's connect the dots on why this situation's so dangerous. Tim already proved he willing to risk everything for his people when he took that King Von situation. He caught a body to protect Quando Rondo, and now he's seeing the same type of disrespect toward YoungBoy. The billboard situation especially got Tim heated because it reminded him of how ops used to taunt them back in the day. Putting up disrespectful imagery in somebody's hood is psychological warfare, and Tim know that if they let this slide, it opened the door for more disrespect. Plus, Tim been watching how the industry been trying to paint YoungBoy as controlled ever since he started doing better. The slave imagery in Choa's video probably triggered something in Tim because he know YoungBoy been working hard to change his image and stay out of trouble. But here's what people don't understand. Tim don't care about industry politics or rap beef rules. He operate by a different code, and that code say you protect your family by any means necessary. The timing of this whole situation make it even more volatile. YoungBoy finally in a good space. His tour doing numbers, his music charting, he's staying out of legal trouble. For Choa to try to disrupt that peace with this type of disrespect probably got Tim feeling like he need to send a message. Tim also understand the psychological aspect of what Choa doing by calling YoungBoy controlled and depicting him as a puppet. Choa trying to get under his skin and make him react emotionally. But Tim know that's exactly what they want for YoungBoy to crash out and mess up his progress. So instead of letting YoungBoy handle it and potentially mess up his situation, Tim probably thinking he need to handle it himself. That way YoungBoy can keep his hands clean while still sending the message that disrespect won't be tolerated. The street code Tim operate by don't allow for this type of public humiliation to go unanswered. In his world, respect is everything. And once you let somebody disrespect you publicly without consequences, you open the door for everybody else to try you. The hip-hop world been watching this situation closely because everybody know Tim's reputation. When Ademix covered the story, he made sure to mention Tim's history and why this beef different from regular rap drama. Other artists been staying quiet about the situation because they know it's real street. Now nobody want to pick sides when Tim involved because they know how he get down. Even artists who might usually insert themselves into drama been keeping their mouths shut. Even Choa's own people probably telling him to chill because they understand what type of energy Tim bring to any situation. This ain't about who got the better bars no more. This about real street consequences. The billboard situation especially got people nervous because it showed Choa willing to escalate beyond just music. But Tim been escalating too, just in ways the public can't see yet. Industry insiders been whispering about the situation, with some saying Choa might have made a mistake he can't take back. When you dealing with somebody like Tim, there ain't no such thing as just music. Everything personal. The fact that YoungBoy been staying quiet about the whole situation probably making Tim feel like he need to step up even more. Tim know YoungBoy trying to stay focused on his career and not get distracted by beef. So he probably feel like it's his job to handle the disrespect. Security companies been reaching out to Choa's team offering their services because word on the street is Tim been asking questions. That's when you know real, when professional security start volunteering their services without being asked. Some people in the industry been trying to mediate the situation behind the scenes. But Tim ain't the type to sit down and talk it out. He more of a handle it in the streets type of person. And that's what got everybody nervous. The ripple effects of this situation already being felt throughout the industry. Other artists who might have been thinking about dissing YoungBoy probably reconsidering after seeing how serious Tim taking this Choa situation. Here's the real issue, fam. This whole situation represent everything wrong with how rap beef can turn deadly. Choa probably thought he was just making art and expressing himself, but he don't understand the street implications of his actions. Tim, on the other hand, can't separate the music from the streets because that's not how he was raised. When he see disrespect toward his brother, he don't think about streaming numbers or social media buzz. He think about respect and retaliation. The billboard was the final straw because it brought the beef to YoungBoy's territory in a way that can't be ignored. In Tim's mind, that's an act of war, not just artistic expression. And here's what's scary. Tim got nothing to lose at this point. He already caught one body protecting his people. So what's another one? That's the type of mindset that make this situation so dangerous. This situation also highlight the generational divide in hip-hop. Choppa represent the new school of conscious rap trying to elevate the culture and spread positive messages. But he using old school tactics, public disrespect, and territorial violations that come with old school consequences. Tim represent that old school mentality where disrespect get handled with violence, not Twitter fingers or diss tracks. He from an era where your reputation in the streets matter more than your streaming numbers. The tragedy is that both sides probably want the same thing. Respect for their people and success in their careers, but the methods they using to achieve those goals putting them on a collision course that might end in tragedy. This also show how the industry need better conflict resolution mechanisms. When beef escalate to this level, there should be people stepping in to mediate before it turned deadly. But the culture still glorify violence as a solution to disrespect. So there you have it, gang. Lulim ready to crash out for NBA YoungBoy and NLE Choppa might have bit off more than he can chew with that billboard stunt. This ain't regular rap beef no more. This real street politics with real consequences. Tim been moving in silence, but the street's talking. Everybody know when Tim start asking questions and making moves, somebody usually end up hurt. Cho better hope he got good security and stay out of certain cities because Tim don't play about his people. The billboard situation crossed a line that can't be uncrossed, and Tim the type to make sure there's consequences for that level of disrespect. Whether it's through direct confrontation or behind-the-scenes pressure, Tim going to make sure Choa understand he made a mistake. What y'all think about this whole situation? Did Choa go too far with that billboard, or is Tim overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but remember this real street with real consequences. Keep it 100, but stay safe out there. Until next time, this your boy breaking down all the tea. Peace, tea, peace.